Hello, it is April 5th, 2020. It's a new episode of the Clean Canvas podcast. Gonna jump right into this real quick with the disclaimers. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I am not an IT guy, I'm not a journalist. So to get into this, I'm gonna move in a different direction and incorporate current events into this episode. I can inundate you with information, history regarding communication amongst humans, but that's going to take a while, and I'm not here for filler, being that this is something for comfort. One thing to note is that we get information these days, and a lot of times instead of reading the article, we look at the headline, and the headline, or clickbait as some people put it, puts people in a panic. Right now, a lot of people are in a panic. There's not direction. People are just buying everything they can, not really to any benefit, and the things that people need that are a benefit are not available to other people. By reading these headlines and sending and distributing and possessing misinformation, it's not healthy and it can be harmful. Why? In this day and age, we have a lot of time on our hands, being that a lot of people are being laid off, a lot of people are on a standstill with their employment due to the current events with this COVID-19 coronavirus illness. Now that we have all this time on our hands, I know I had 2 previous episodes on mental health. Those who have depression or other mental health abnormalities, I probably butchered that and mispronounced it, but that have difficulties, having all this time on their hands is not necessarily healthy, and we should do things to make that time productive. I know in other episodes I discussed building a foundation. Because when you build a foundation, what you're building towards, like exercise, can build some sort of strength. So, depending on how you start your morning, whether it's like a devotional, some sort of scripture, quotes, I find positive quotes, send them to people that I care about. Those things help build my day and build a foundation of positivity. And though I mentioned before, not every day is easy, but by building that positivity, helps me get through the day and through situations, especially high stress situations, because I prioritize. By having that little bit of clarity, I'm able to get through tough situations. Now, as I mentioned a few moments ago, clarity. In all facets of health, we need to feed our mind, body, and soul. We do it with positive quotes, exercise our body, watch what we eat, and exercise. I think I mentioned that previous. And by doing that, by having a total fit of your health, you're building that foundation. Because when you're not eating right, you're not thinking right, you're misinterpreting information, you're doing your personal self a disservice. Assess everything. Read the articles. A lot of sources are Google searches away. Some people go to Snopes, because Snopes has resources and sources. There's other reputable websites, World Health Organization, the CDC. I know some people who don't agree with certain political news organizations tend to use that as fake news, but those are reputable news sources, regardless of your politics. So those are sources, and if you go through the multiple sources and find the facts about things and research that information, we have better clarity over the situation. Because a lot of times right now, things are going really unhealthy really fast, and with a lot of time on your hands, you can do a lot of cool things. Finish that book you want to read. If you're doing a writing project, if you're into cooking, cook. You might have more time to organize, exercise, do things that will benefit you as a person. Those things will help you in this time where that's all we have. We have a lot of it. In fact, some people have too much of it. And I know there's 24 hours in a day, but hey, you can do all you can to help yourself and be productive. The old saying, you can be busy doing nothing. Use some productivity in it. As long as you're being productive, you shouldn't be led to astray. So those key points and things I mentioned, I just want to mention that with in part to some of what I was going to discuss in this episode of the Clean Canvas podcast, and mention that, hey, two things to note: how we receive and distribute information, as well as how we take in that information. Because if we take in that information, are we looking through the sources, or are we just reading the headline? So with that, I'm gonna keep this as brief as I can. It's gonna be a small part 3 of the mental health series. I'm on Instagram under the Clean Canvas podcast, all one word. You can find me there. If you know me personally, you can hit me up in my personal IG account. You know me personally, text me, call me. You have questions, I will consider them on this podcast. But I just wanted to give a very special episode of this, because a lot of times people are in a panic. People are overbuying. People are kind of not taking all this information and everything that's going on in a healthy manner. So we need to be more positive, build that foundation of positivity, and try to assess and prioritize everything. Because if we put everything where it belongs, in the right areas, then we should not have too difficulties in these very confusing times. So with that, I bid you farewell. Be safe, stay positive, and I hope you stay healthy, be healthy, and once again, be safe, stay positive. Thank you.